Good morning, Foggers. Good morning. Happy Thursday. I hope everybody's doing well. As you can tell, a little different recording location today. Again, it's about 5:30 in the morning, and I'm back at my son's school, best school in the country, training. And again, we're talking. Brings to mind we're talking again about culture, right? Winning culture. So. I got some disturbing news yesterday about, in continuation, that officer that got arrested for DUI, right? And this information is completely unverified, but I got 2 phone calls on this, and I'll report it only because I know it's happened before. That apparently there's been other issues with this officer and some instances of drinking, DUI. I don't know if police were involved or whatever. But I do know from other instances that stuff has been, dealt with or handled, and you're not doing anybody a favor when you do that. I know in our culture, right, in our police culture, handing up people, and for civilians, that's basically just telling, right, tattletale, being a rat. In our culture, there is a place for that at times. There are things in our profession that need to be done. There are things that there's ways of doing things that are not in books, and that's enough said about that, right? There's a place for that at times. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong. There's just a place for that at times, and it happens, right? Our profession is very unique, where we can't accept I don't want to say handing up, but when you come across an officer that has an addiction issue, right? Alcohol, whatever. And listen, when I was a younger officer, I came across officers, and we would give them a ride home. We would do the right thing, right? I mean, if there were times we had to lock keys away from people or whatever to prevent them from doing something, and you prevent tragedies like that, right? But as an addict, when you don't handle things correctly, you basically enable, right? And so that is extremely detrimental to a person. So I got phone calls yesterday about issues that were going on that call, and I wasn't going to discuss it because, again, I have sources, and this is not to bash and break down. This is about lifting up and saving lives. But this information was being reported by the media. So, this officer gets involved in an accident, and at some point he pulls his weapon from his holster, and he was at a low ready. Officers on the scene had to give him verbal commands to drop the weapon, right? Just like a bad guy. And, again, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but that sounds to me like this officer might have been thinking about suicidal ideology, or we don't know, again, and I want to be responsible in how I report things, but it's not a good scenario, right? Officers pointing weapons at another officer who's intoxicated at a low ready position with a firearm out. It is not good. However you slice it up, whatever it was that happened, all those reports, right, are not good. And we're grateful to God that there wasn't a tragedy. Can you imagine officers having to discharge their firearm at another officer? I mean, talk about a world of shit, okay? So, culture, man, it goes back to culture. We need to start doing the right things. And I was in conversation with the person that called me yesterday. I said, you know what, man, if I had to lock your ass up, okay, and I'm against ever handing up people, all right? I got through my career doing a lot of things that had to be done. But if it meant saving you so your son and your daughter had somebody to walk them down the aisle and their first dance, and your spouse didn't have to get a flag, I would lock your ass up in a heartbeat. We need to be better. We need the agencies to be better. You can't continue to sweep shit under. There's got to be a way that we can help these people, okay? I got another report early this morning when I woke up, and again, it's 5:30 in the morning now, but like at 3:45, I got a message from somebody that very upset at the media because they were, the officer came out of jail when he bonded out and was running from the media, and they were reporting he had urinated on himself and A lot of shameful shit that this guy has to deal with now. And again, he's responsible for his actions. He has to be accountable. That's what's going to be part of his healing, or it may be part of his demise. We talked about hitting rock bottom, right? You know, we got to do better. The culture has to change. We have to do better. We have to hold these departments accountable, okay? We have to hold each other accountable. This winning culture here at the high school that I'm at, it's never about the coaches. The kids hold themselves accountable. It's pretty scary that as grown adults, we could learn something from these kids, you know, and young men, actually. But I just, you know, I woke up like we're still doing this hurtful behavior to ourselves. We got to get with it. We got to push these departments and force them to do the right thing. Releasing all this information to the media and the pictures and the arrest form and the arrest affidavit and all these things and getting into details. There's Freedom of Information Act. They can, you know, request information. We can give them the basics, but this is not going to help anybody here. The public is the outcry and all the remarks on the logs and from the media. They're horrible. Okay. And again, he's got to be responsible, but we have to do better as an agency. And as a community of first responders, we need to do better. We have to change the culture. So I just wanted to bring this to you. It's early. And it's just frustrating, you know. It's like swimming against the tide sometimes. But listen, always forward, never backwards, right? We got to keep at it, okay? If you know somebody that needs help, talk to them. If you need to take other steps, do it. There should be an amnesty. There should be, you know, an alibi, whatever you want to call it. You need to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody and go, hey, listen, this guy needs help. And if they're angry at you, hey, then so be it. But you might be saving their life, man. And it's difficult for us to even discuss this, you know, but we need to help people. There's a difference in enabling and there's a difference in handing up people. So I give you this information for you to think, search. If you know somebody, if you smell alcohol in somebody's breath, if you see them acting different, if you see them isolated, they may be getting to that point of frustration, and just reaching out to them, okay, is going to be a great thing. And if you're in that position, we need you to reach out. It's okay. It's all right. There's going to be help. If you don't have confidence in certain peers or certain groups, professional services, you want to, you know, send me a message. You want to talk to me. I'll meet with anybody. I'll refer you. I know people in the business, but let's get to work, guys. Okay. I don't know what else to say about this. Let's get to work. Okay. You're loved. You're respected. What you're going through, a lot of people have gone through and are going through. You're not the only one. All right. Let's get with it. All right. Lots of love, respect. Happy Thursday. And excuse the lighting and all the stuff, but we're about to get ready to practice here. So just nothing, man. Be better. Let's change this culture and let's move on, man. 3 a.m. fog.